everyone, welcome back to Northstars Live. We've just wrapped up this game, Perth Thunder versus Newcastle Northstars. A bit of a better result than last game. It went to a shootout and Perth Thunder did take the win 4-3. Gav, let's have a bit of a chat about that game. You're actually down in the penalty box tonight, manning a gate. Tell us what you saw from down there.
It was a very intense, fast game in the first few periods. Newcastle played a lot better than
it was a very different game.
I think Sam Banger brought a lot to that line. Him and Malloy played really well together. They were looking for each other every time they were on the ice. They had quite a few opportunities, and I thought that was a really good game. As Steve just said, I give credit to our third line. They brought a lot of intensity into that forecheck that they were doing, and which then gave the next lines a good roll on. Perth are a very quality side. They have got some very good imports and players out there. There was a lot of heated, a lot of calls, a lot of contention over the calls. Both ways. I know Newcastle, when they were in the box, weren't happy, and when Perth were in the box, they weren't happy as well. A couple of 5-on-3s, which was the first goal for Newcastle. Against Newcastle, sorry. Perth scored first.
First blood.
Sorry.
We evened it up.
It was a bit blurry. But, a couple of calls that made the game interesting, but very fast game. Newcastle's passes were a little bit off at a few stages there, but they seemed to clean that up. But,
very much so. So, it was a very tight game, 1-1. 2-1, then 2-2. We, in that third period there, we went, 3-2, and seconds later, it was 3-3 again. Ended the game 3-3, and then just in the shootout, our shooters, Joe Hocharik, Nick Rouvet, just couldn't get it in. But the three shooters were able to find it behind Dane.
It's such a shame to finish a great game like that in the shootout. Dane will be disappointed with that outcome, but he had a great game. It's so disappointing for a goalie then to go to a shootout and 2 goals against him. He'll be feeling disappointed, but it was a great fast quality game of hockey. I'm so glad Newcastle brought that to this game after the last game that we played.
Beautiful.
So
well, we're going to actually talk to Newcastle coach Ray Sheffield as well as Perth Thunder coach David Ruck. We're going to get a couple of players in too, but we'll swap it out and get one of these coaches on. But just to recap, the Newcastle Northstars have lost their game against Perth Thunder 4-3 in shootout today. It was a different game from our last encounter with Perth Thunder. It was a lot tighter, but ultimately it was Perth who took it and remained sort of ahead of us in the AIHL tally there. Hey Dave, how's it going?
Yeah, good.
Good. Another win for you guys.
Yeah, really got to be pleased with that one. Getting an overtime win on the road. We'll take that.
It was a bit of a different game this time. It was a lot tighter. Run us through from a Perth perspective, how the game went for you guys.
Well, look, we tried to play our game plan, keep the puck moving quick, keep our feet moving quick. Really, the game played out today the way we expected the last time we were here. Like I said, last time the breaks fell for us. This time I thought in the second period we were a little unlucky. But in saying that, the Northstars, Peter made some really big saves at some crucial times for us as well. So for the game to end up 3-3 probably deserved to be a 3-all game.
Yeah, absolutely. And so who were the couple of standout players for you tonight?
Well, I thought Tomek Sack actually had a really strong game for us on defense there. Played really good defensively. Was well aware of the Northstars sneaking in behind. We talk about it, we practice for it, and we still got caught a couple times. So I was glad to see that Sack dropped back for us a couple of times. And another player that has struggled a little bit the last couple games, but really stepped up and played a lot stronger game, had a lot more energy, was Kieran Webster for us, so that was great to see that.
And Landon Oslanski was a pretty big player out there for you guys tonight as well. He's had a lot of ice time.
Yeah, well, I guess I'm just getting used to relying on Oz, you know what I mean? It's just another regular night for him, and you do kind of forget sometimes the guys that really do, bring a lot to the team and a lot to the game every game in, game out, and yeah, like I say, you just get you do rely on them a bit, and just get used to those good games from them, game in, game out.
So let's have a bit of a chat about your season so far. You guys are, before we went into this game, and there are other games being played, you know, sitting third, you're ahead of us, and you've got Canberra Brave at top and the Sydney Ice Dogs second. Yeah, run us through your season so far. You guys are having an absolute cracker.
Yeah, if you look at our win-loss record, you know, we are okay. But we just can't seem to get any distance, you know. Every weekend I look at the table and I'm like, okay, you know, we were second and we dropped to third. And then, you know, it's just that the season is so close this season. Everybody's beating everybody. So
it is the season for it, for sure.
Overall, you know, you'd have to be pleased where we're at, but like I say, you're never comfortable, and just like I said, every time I look at the ladder, I think, man, we can't seem to get any distance on any of these teams.
I don't think you can get comfortable until you have the cup in your hand.
Well, that's true too. But the first, obviously, you have set goals, shorter term goals throughout the season, and you know, one of them is just making sure that you get enough wins that you can lock yourself at a final spot.
Absolutely, and we did have Ray Sheffield around here somewhere. We're going to have a chat with him, but thank you so much for joining us once again, Dave, and best of luck for your game tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks for that.
That's all right.
All right,
catch you later.
Yeah.
Chatting with Dave Ruck, Perth Thunder coach, just about the win tonight. Pretty happy with it, and you'd expect him to. And now we're going to have Ray Sheffield, coach for the Northstars, and just have a bit of a chat with him about the game from Newcastle's perspective. Hey Ray, how's it going?
Well, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. So, not obviously the outcome you guys wanted, a shootout loss, but it was a lot better game or an outcome than last time. Are you happy with the performance tonight, or are you still not quite happy with it?
Yeah, the performance was better. We got off to a pretty slow start.
Yep.
Took us a little while to get our feet and I guess match the speed. They've got a pretty quick team.
Yeah.
And it just took us too long to get going. But once we got going, we got settled in. We were okay.
Yeah. So, run us through a little bit about the game. You know, you did get off to a slow start, but you started to find your feet in the second. Would you say that?
Yeah, it's probably the second. Actually, after we scored the goal, we were a little bit more settled, I think. And we got our lines right, and
Yeah. So, what did you do well tonight, or what did you do that you wanted to do?
I guess probably the transition, so not allowing them to get as many odd man rushes.
Yep.
Very important. Staying out of the box. I mean, they scored a couple power play goals, but they're good on the power play, so you got to kind of avoid those situations. And once we got settled in the game, I thought our defensive zone got better too. So.
And what were some of the things that you might have let drop or didn't really go to plan?
Probably just taking advantage of our opportunities.
Yeah.
We had a couple chances there where we walked right in, and I mean the goalie played well. He made some nice saves.
Yeah,
but,
that's what Dave was saying. DeSalvo made some pretty big critical saves there.
He did.
But Dane did, just as well, like DeSalvo made some pretty big saves. I remember in the first period there, one of the first shots was some sort of strange cartwheel. Crazy Dane Davis thing. He springs back up, and it's just incredible to see.
Yeah, he throws himself around pretty well there.
Yeah, beautiful. So let's talk about a couple of how you think the changes in the roster went today. You know, with Sammy, the change in Bert Malloy and Nick Reve's roles sort of reversed a bit. Did they work out as planned, or? They
did actually. I think taking nothing away from Bert. Reeves kind of gives us a little bit more push forward from the D, and I don't think we lost a whole lot switching Bert up and forward. He's pretty dangerous.
It was great to see him on the ice so much. You kind of forget like how much you don't see him until all of a sudden he just pops up everywhere. You're like, hello. You're throwing a lot of weight on the boards as well.
He's solid. Yeah. He likes to hit, and he's a heavy guy. Like he doesn't look really big out there, but he's
get some pads on, some skates on.
For sure, yeah.
Beautiful. And let's chat about a couple of standout players for you tonight. Who was really good for you out there?
I would have to say Jonesy. I thought Jonesy played really well. Scored a nice goal, and Loss. Lost played pretty well, and then that whole Liam, Naden and Latini line.
Yes.
They were pretty good tonight.
Yeah, we've been chatting about how good those guys were. That was fantastic. Beautiful. Well, we've got Oslanski. Yeah, beautiful. Landon Oslanski from Perth Thunder to chat with. Thank you so much, Ray. It's awesome to chat with you. Well, yeah, that was Coach Ray Sheffield just running us through what happened for the Northstars tonight. Look, obviously a disappointing outcome for them. They did want that win. They really wanted it. But a shootout loss, 4-3 for them. And how's it going, Landon?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. How are you going?
Good.
That's good. Welcome to Northstars Live.
How's it going?
Good. So, great game for you tonight. Run us through, what's it like out on the ice for you tonight?
Tiring. They're a good team.
Yeah.
They're fast, physical, so it's hard to play, but I mean, we snuck it out again. Last time was a little bit different. They had maybe a 5-minute lull, but this time we just kind of stuck simple and got it done.
So obviously last time you played Newcastle you had the 8-2 win, which was, a massive kind of scoreline for you guys. Tonight was a lot tighter. But talking about the game in general, like what were the differences between those two games? Was it just, more defensively challenging tonight?
No, last game they just had like a 5-minute lapse. It was a tight game halfway through the game. Then we had about a 4 or 5 minute window of putting, 3 in the net or something like that. So then the game kind of gets out of hand, and it just kind of happens to lots of teams and lots of games. It can happen to anybody. But this game was a lot tougher. They stuck to it. They didn't have a lapse, nor did we. We just kind of stuck to the game plan and snuck one out.
Yeah. Do you have the game plan in your head, like, as you're there? Like, do you just keep sticking to it no matter what? Or when does it sometimes games the game plan does fall by the wayside? Is it more of a battle to stick to the game plan, or you just have to go with what's happening out there?
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody has a game plan and you want to stick to it. And when tough things happen, it's just like life. When tough things happen, you kind of just stick to your plan and just let it happen. And things will go good and sometimes things will go bad. But in hockey, if sometimes you fall down 4 goals, it's kind of like crap,
Yeah.
But tonight we were just down 1, we get one back, down 1, get one back, and we just kind of stuck it out. Shootouts are 50-50. Could happen to anybody. You hit a post, could have hit a post and went in, but tonight it didn't. So.
Do you guys feel more confident going, like when it does come down to a shootout, do you guys feel a little bit more confident because you have, the top leading goal scorers in the league, or is it still like shootouts are still shootouts?
Shootouts are shootouts. It's a goalie and a player. So, I mean, you could have a good goalie who loves taking shootouts and just loves taking one-on-one plays, and some goalies don't. They're more of a gamer. And, I mean, I'd call myself more of a shooter than a dinker, and so I didn't have to shoot today, which was kind of awesome, but that's okay. 50-50 every time in a shootout. Anybody can win.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for having a chat with us.
Absolutely.
And we'll let you go and have a shower and, dress down.
Yeah, thank you.
That's all right. Thanks so much. That was Landon Oslanski from Perth Thunder joining us. And now we've got Dane Davis, goaltender for the Northstars, joining us after a big game from him. How's it going?
I'm good, little tangled.
Yes, a little tangled. You quite dwarf the seat with all your pads on still.
What are you saying?
I'm saying your pads are massive.
It's the pads. Okay.
Yeah, the pads. How's it going?
I'm good. You?
Yeah, I'm great. Big game. Look, obviously didn't get the outcome you wanted, but you had a massive game. It looks like, a lot of big moments and saves and stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, Perth are, obviously always a great team.
Yeah.
They're always in contention every year, and you got Brio and Garmaison back there. Those guys are leading the league right now in points, I think, and it certainly shows. They capitalize on their opportunities we gave them, and they battle back and well-deserved 2 points.
Beautiful. So, tell us a little bit about the game from your perspective. You're all the way down one end. Obviously, the game goes into your end. But what do you see out there, and how do you sort of feel when the puck is all of a sudden rushing at you?
Well, nervous is probably the word, but no, overall, I think the game, we controlled a lot of the game. We had a lot of good opportunities. DeSalvo there played great, had some good save, especially here in the second. He made that big save when we were on the power play. That really kept momentum. That was 2-1, could have been 3-1, a different game there. And then, when they come into our zone, I think we played really well tonight. I think they capitalized on their chances. We gave them a 5-on-3 to start, and they scored off that, and then they scored on a 5-on-4 at the beginning of the third, and then a little breakdown, and then one of their imports got loose in front of the net and buried. So 3 well-deserved goals. You should score on those opportunities, and we played with them. It's certainly was a tie game, I thought, and they got the best, but overall I thought it was very even.
Yeah, very much so. It was a different game from the last game with Perth, that's for sure.
Oh, absolutely. The one thing about Perth, if they get momentum, they'll keep it, and they got that train rolling, and unfortunately last game a few weeks ago we just couldn't stop it. Here, this was us. This is our true hockey, and it shows how tight the league is and shows how good we are. We can compete with anyone.
Yeah. So. As a team, what's the feeling in the locker room? Are you quite disappointed with that, or are you happier that you playing back to your true selves, I suppose? Or a bit of both.
It's a bit of both, we're disappointed, obviously 2-1 going into the third, leaving with a tie. Okay, great, you get points, but you're never happy leaving a win on the table, especially you look at the standings, we're battling, there's really 3 teams battling for those last 2 spots. Every point counts for us, so we really need to put up the pads here and put in a good performance the next sort of 6-7 weeks to really solidify a spot, but we'll take all the points we can get.
Yeah, definitely. So. And there is another big game coming up tomorrow, Melbourne Ice back here at Hunter Ice Skating Stadium. Do you have any thoughts about facing Melbourne Ice tomorrow?
No thoughts. It's business as usual. It's they're obviously very dangerous. Coming off a championship last year, and they're still always in the hunt. No matter where they are on the table, they're only a few points back from us. So every game's critical. So we need to bear down and get home ice advantage here, and we got to use it. So.
Beautiful. And just one more, a bit of a personal thing. Your dad was here tonight watching. Is that right?
Yeah. My father's in town, so I haven't seen him since our wedding in 2013. So it's been 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah. Well, he's got off the farm back home and come out. My daughter turns 1 tomorrow, so
it's a bit of a big weekend for you guys.
I'm getting old. Probably shows in the haircut, but so huge weekend. He's come out and pretty emotional. He got to meet my kids for the first time.
That's beautiful.
And now I guess the problem is I can't get him to leave. So he's loving Australia so much. We're going to go out next week to the wineries and
very nice.
Show him all that Newcastle have to offer, and he'll enjoy
show him why you
grandkids.
fell in love with this place.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, I'll let you go, and you can go have a shower and dress down and head to the pub.
Looking forward to it. Dehydrated.
Yeah. Thanks, Dane.
Thank you.
Well, that was Dane Davis, goaltender for the Newcastle Northstars, just having a bit of a chat about the game and a bit of a personal touch. His dad, who hasn't seen in 5 years, Wayne, here for the game. And we're actually joined now by Eric. Eric is the bear behind the Bears. How's it going, Eric?
G'day, Ellie. G'day, everyone. How are you?
Good. You're not in Sydney tonight. You're in Newcastle.
I certainly am. The Bears are on the road in Adelaide and doing a great job from what I hear. And I thought I'd come up and see what a great job the Newcastle Northstars media team are doing. And having seen it from the inside, it's a great... So great in there.
So obviously, if you're watching this, you'll know that the Northstars have kicked it up a notch this year, just with more content. We wanted to bring more content, so a pre-game show, some intermission interviews, and a post-game show. Really start talking to more people from both teams just about the games and sort of bring a little bit more. But you're doing you're bringing more in a way to the Sydney Bears fans and the Sydney hockey fan base. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing this season.
Indeed, I've been commentating for the Bears for a couple of years on the audio streams, and I've also been doing a bit of work with the Ice Dogs as well. And so we're basically in some way pooling our resources because, you know yourself, Ellie, and anyone who's involved knows how many resources you need. It's a big step, some guy with an iPhone to the full-fledged production that's here in Newcastle.
I remember you guys. You literally used to be out there with your iPhone going live. Is it going live and commentating?
That was the 2016 Australian Women's Ice Hockey League Grand Finals. That's the way I was doing it. That's all we had at this stage. Things have increased there. Things have improved there. Things continue to improve year upon year, and And if I can have something like this in Sydney, it would be absolutely fantastic, not only for the Sydney teams, but also for the travelling teams and the fans as well.
So, tell them, I know why I give my time to the Northstars. I'm sure it's exactly the same as you, but why do you dedicate your time to the AIHL and the Bears?
Well, first of all, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I saw that there was a need when I joined the Bears. The volunteers, there wasn't as many of us. We were at the Sydney Ice Arena at that time. Since then, we moved to the Penrith Ice Palace, and then after that, of course, to Macquarie, where we've been with the Ice Dogs for a couple of years. The amount of talent that's come into the volunteer ranks is increased, and also the number of people that have increased as well. But a production like this, we certainly need more to have a production. Like at the moment, we're only doing audio. We don't necessarily have the equipment and anything for this sort of thing, but we have increased and improved our audio coverage this year.
Absolutely. And have you noticed an increase in listeners or fan base?
We certainly have. This time of year is very interesting because the NHL's finished. It's favourable when it comes in terms of North American listeners. Like they're now starved of hockey, and so some of them are discovering this league for the first time. For instance, in the chat this afternoon, we had a guy from Newcastle in the UK. We had a lady from Mexico, and there was people from Sweden as well. So there's lots of different people coming in, and some of them are discovering this league for the first time. Yeah,
and some of them are very surprised that they can get a quality stream and not have to pay for it as well. That was one of the conversations.
Well, there's still lots of people who don't know about this league, and word of mouth. Like they'll go and they'll tell their friends, I was able to watch hockey at a decent hour. Like when we started the stream, it was something like 8 a.m. in the UK, so breakfast hockey for them was fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Eric, and it's been great having you here and seeing a little bit behind the scenes of what we do here.
Pleasure to be here, and thank you everyone for having me.
That's beautiful. All right, we'll bring Gav back and wrap up today's show. As I just said, that's Eric from the Sydney Bears, and now we're getting Gav back, and we'll just run through a couple of the things we were just chatting about. Hey, Gav.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
You've
Sorry, I missed that. I was talking to everybody else as we were getting them for interviews.
Yeah, well, we had a couple of great interviews with Dave and Landon from Perth Thunder, and then Ray and Dane from us, Newcastle.
Yeah, well, I spoke to Dane too, and he, as I said before we actually got him on air, that he's disappointed with that. It comes down to a shootout, but he's they'll take it. As I said before the game tonight, that we'd be happy to get away with a point, and I think I cursed
you
us
did
with
it.
That. Yeah,
it was you.
It was my fault. When it was 3-3, I was thinking, oh no,
what have I done?
Come on, score another goal.
I think everyone was. Well, and now it's reset time because tomorrow we're back in the Hunter Ice Skating Stadium and we're facing Melbourne Ice, and something I chatted with Joey about, which we'll discuss further tomorrow for the pre-show, is that how do you face a team that is desperate for points, because Melbourne Ice are further down from where we are, and they're reigning champions. They really don't want to be where they are right now.
Yeah, as Dane said, they won the championship last year, so they have a quality team. Obviously it's just not clicking at the moment, but I think also that teams like Perth and Newcastle, and especially Canberra this year, who have stepped it up another level, and Melbourne at the moment are probably a little bit behind that, and they'll be definitely desperate, and they'll be keen to come up here to Newcastle and get a win. Absolutely. They'll be wanting some points from this weekend. So,
and I know it doesn't make much of a difference, like you're a hockey player, but now that the new formation of the Lions are they've had one game underneath them, I think they'd know what to expect from each other a little bit more, and that
absolutely.
might help for tomorrow.
Yeah, well, exactly like last time we played Perth, we had no idea what we were coming up against, and then you could see that the way we played tonight was different than what we played previously. We were a lot more defensive. Those 50-50 pucks where normally the defenseman would probably pinch in, or we were sitting back and trying to take out their passes, because Perth are very good at cross ice passing and everything like that. So we're trying to shut them down in the middle of the ice, and now that we reset and play Melbourne tomorrow, and like you said, we've we play them, so we want to see
absolutely
what we're going to come up against, and see
beautiful.
what comes. I
All
thought Sam had a good game.
Yeah, he did.
He got his first goal.
He did.
So,
Bless him.
They put him down for an assist on the second goal. I didn't see the assist. We'll give it to him. We'll give him 2 points.
Points. We like to give out points.
Darren, the referee, was putting down assists for every goal, and I was like, maybe not someone on that one. But that's that's good. Points will do.
Yeah, absolutely. Alrighty, guys. Well, we'll wrap up today's Northstars Live. Again, I'm your host, Ellie Marie Watts.
Hi, I'm Gavin Thurston.
And join us again tomorrow when the Northstars take on Melbourne Ice.
Bye.